Let's see what Kano is gonna do. I mean, most of it we already know, but maybe we can take a peek at Kanan a little bit closer. After the young man's desperate pleading, the other fellow, apparently his father, finally gave in. By the way, isn't this fucking mean that the game is giving me a jump I can't use and wants me to use another jump to the same person? Damn. Anyway, he released his hold on Hitomi. The tension in the room was replaced by a solemn air of gravitas. Seeing father and son weeping as they spoke made Kano think back to his conversation with Tateno before the stakeout. What was it in people that drove them to do such horrible things? Sometimes it was the desire to save the ones they loved. Even such a heartfelt human emotion could drive someone to wrongdoing. Why? Why did people have to be like that? And that's where she slumps. A sudden thought snapped Kano out of his musing. An instant later, Kanan hurried past him into the workroom. Again, kiss, kiss, kiss. Maria had collapsed onto the floor, and now Kanan was beside her. In a panic, Kano rushed into the workroom as well. "Stay back!" Kanan shouted as the others tried to huddle around the fallen girl. "Please don't be what I think this is." Had the virus gone symptomatic? 2 hours ago, Stanley had told Kano that Maria was infected. He'd also said that her symptoms wouldn't develop for another 4 hours. Shouldn't they still have 2 more hours to go? Maybe the stress helped accelerate it? I don't know. Maria looked like she was dead. Whoa, her eyes closed, her body motionless. Hitomi tried to approach despite Kanan's warning. "Maria," she cried. "Maria, what's wrong?" Kano held his arms wide to hold her back. "Your sister has been infected with the UA virus." "The UA virus?" Hitomi's face went pale. "Hey," Kano said to Kanan, "should you really be that close? If she's developed symptoms." But Kanan didn't move from Maria's side. She calmly rested her hand on the other girl's forehead. "There's no fever," she said, "and there's no blood coming from her ears, no limb swelling. It'll be alright. She hasn't gone symptomatic yet." "In that case, why did she collapse?" Hitomi asked. "I'm not sure yet. Whatever the case, if we don't get her that antiviral, she's done for. I mean, we got 3 protagonists right here. Well, 2 if you don't count her since she's out cold, but still. So we should join forces." "Then we have to get to the lab right away," Hitomi said. She was trembling with anxiety. "I guess this is our jump to Ozawa." "No, that's not an option." It's Kano. "No, that's not an option." Kano's tone was grave. "You may already be aware, Miss Ozawa, but without a password, we can't access the antivirus storage." "But when I went there, my father and Mr. Tanaka..." "Tanaka is dead!" "Mamoru Tanaka is dead. Murdered." "What?" She stared at him uncomprehendingly. That's a big boy word. No, that can't be true." "He was a member of a crime syndicate. It's possible they killed him in order to silence him." "So then, there's no way to save my sister?" There was a hollow look in Hitomi's eyes. Daisuke perks up. "Does she have Bombay blood as well?" "No, I won't accept that. Why? Why can't we help her?" Stanley's just standing there like a chump. Look at him. But no one had an answer. Kano gritted his teeth and hung his head. Why did it have to come to this? He'd come this far, but there was nothing he could do, and he hated himself for it. Don't be too harsh on yourself, Kano. Jesus. You can't change the facts. I'll go to the laboratory. Who is saying this now? Kanan. Okay, yes, she can do it. It was Kanan. Electronic lock breaking is my specialty. Wait. The young man at she spoke up suddenly. So you're a martial arts badass, but your specialty is lock breaking? He looked positively dumbstruck. Kanan ignored him, thinking out loud. Brute force, side channel. Oh god, let's take a look. Brute force. A cryptanalysis technique that involves test input of all theoretically possible patterns. If time were unlimited, this would be the most reliable means of decipherment. However, in practice, the process takes massive amounts of time and computational power and can be defeated by systems that prohibit access after a limited number of failed input attempts. Side channel? Rather than trying to decipher the password itself, this method involves analyzing information from the device, such as processing time, power consumption, and electromagnetic leaks, and using these details to exploit the system. Isolating the run state of devices is a crucial element of countering side channel attacks. Okay, shortcut. A crypt analysis method. Did I say it right this time? It uses mathematical algorithms to carry out efficient bulk calculations against a block cipher that makes use of a shared key for encryption and decryption. I'm positively lost, by the way. Even when such calculations are theoretically possible, however, in practice the process requires large amounts of time and a block cipher is seldom at real risk. Given the situation, I think I have to go with side channel. She's smart as well. She looks good, she's smart. She has real guns in her arms, you know, some real fucking big guns. Can knock everyone down. She could knock me down anytime. Side channel? Stanley asked. Where's your equipment? Oh, we got another super hacker right here. Look at Stanley. One of the lab PCs will suffice. I don't know. I can connect to a special server from the net. I don't really understand the stuff you're talking about, she said, but I'll trust you to handle this. What about your father? Isn't he supposed to be some kind of wonder child? I mean, you did risk your life to save Hitomi from that minivan explosion and all. Kanan nodded. I have to warn you in advance though. Crypt analysis? Why isn't it crypto analysis? I don't know. Can take hours and still yield no results. I can't guarantee I'll be able to get the doors unlocked before Maria develops symptoms. I understand, Hitomi said, but she nodded too. No one present had any objections. Not even Stanley? What's that now? All of a sudden there was a curious sound from somewhere in the room. What's that? Kano asked. What's making the noise? He looked around the workroom. Daisuke activated the bomb. Yes? No? That's my computer. Daisuke hurried to his desktop. What's going on? It's black. The bank of monitors which had been displaying surveillance camera footage from around Shibuya had all gone black. What the hell? What's going on, Dad? Achi joined his father, staring at the computer screens. It's all gone. The camera footage. It has been deleted. Daisuke blinked in disbelief. This is ALPHARD's doing. Now then, it seems our main cast has all been assembled. A man's voice, distorted by a voice modulator, suddenly emerged from the computer speakers. Oh! It really is ALPHARD. And he's using a webcam that's not even here! A moment later, the monitors all began to display a view of the inside of the workroom. Dad, what the hell is this? Someone's broken through our firewall. A security system for preventing unauthorized intrusion into a computer network, by the way. The term stems from a metaphorical reapplication of the concept of war meant to inhibit the spread of fire or other destructive forces. Just in case you didn't know. Thanks, Dad. They've hijacked the surveillance camera system. The color drained from Daisuke's face as he looked at the screens. Where are they filming us from? Kano asked, scanning the inside of the room. It should be right in front of you, you retards. But there's no webcam. At least I can see one. He used the image on the monitors to guess where the camera might be located. Over here? Oh, there actually is. The lens of a camera set atop the computer monitor glimmered like an eye. Just put your finger on it and it's enough. Use a little bit of tape or something. It was a miniature camera used for web conferencing and the like. Why does Achi's father need that? To cyber or something? I don't know. Now that Maria and Hitomi are both there. Oh, now that Maria and Hitomi are both there, you have probably surmised the situation at hand. And so I offer a proposal. The laboratory password in exchange for Hitomi's blood. Realizing now that it was ALPHARD's voice they were hearing, everyone in the room froze. At 7 o'clock, roughly 1 hour from now, see that Hitomi Osawa is waiting at the Scramble intersection outside Shibuya Station just like this morning. Unless of course you're feeling particularly confident. You do have Kanan with you. Perhaps you'd care to take a gamble on her lock-breaking skills instead. Kanan clucked her tongue in frustration. ALPHARD had known exactly what the plan was. Of course, he's listening in on them as well. Of course, if Kanan isn't able to get the door open in time, what will you do then? Maria is sure to die, yes, but that's not all. If you don't agree to my offer, I have the means of creating another Maria and a foot. These infectees will spread the virus through Tokyo. The death toll will likely number in the hundreds of thousands. It's difficult to predict the scope of infection in the event of a bioterrorist attack employing a highly infectious viral agent in a city with a large and mobile population. In a worst case scenario, some researchers estimate as many as several million infected in a matter of days. Honestly, if the infection or the virus has an incubation time of just a few hours, that would be enough to not notice it quickly enough for it to spread basically everywhere. So you'd need someone that stays at home for 24 hours or more, holed up in his room, to not get infected. So do think carefully before you decide. ALPHARD's voice was chillingly matter-of-fact. I will appear at the rendezvous in person. I thought it wouldn't do for the star of the show to miss the final curtain. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you then. Silence fell. I need to think of another gimmick to ALPHARD's voice other than trying to use all the voices at once. Then the images on the computer monitor returned to normal. The surveillance camera footage came back online as well. He is a real super hacker, I guess. Daisuke promptly yanked out his Ethernet cable and slammed his fists on the keyboard. Damn it, there was a hole in the firewall. I'll have to redo my security from the ground up. Is this really what you're worrying about now? Good call, Kanan said calmly. We can't win this if our intel keeps getting leaked. She's pissed. Stanley pursed his lips in consternation. What do we do? Kano asked him. Look at Kano. He's a real fucking manlet compared to Stanley. Do we give in to his demands, Daddy? I mean, do we really expect he's just going to blithely show up like that, Daddy? He's practically begging for us to come and catch him. There had to be some deeper plan at work. If it means saving my sister, I'll do it. Hitomi was resolute. No, Stanley said. You can't. What? Why not? Because if you do, you'll be killed. What? Hitomi's voice caught in her throat. Are you then, Hitomi? Are you? With the antiviral still present in your body a week after the fact, you're too much of a liability for ALPHARD to just let go. He's right, don't do it, Achi exclaimed. Hitomi, you can't go. Even still, I want to do it. Hitomi stared defiantly at Stanley. You still want to go, even knowing that you'll be killed? I can't just sit here and hope that Kanan is able to pull this off, she said. I want to do something for my sister. I want to save her. She peered down at Maria sprawled on the floor. She is the more beautiful one, definitely. She'd object to me going, I'm sure of that. But I want to do what I can. To do things my way. No one tried to contradict her this time. If she's willing to take the risk... Oh. What? Who is saying this now? If she's willing to take the risk, then there are things the rest of you can do too. It was Kanan again. Okay, now I know. Let's see it, Kano replied. He squared his shoulders. He was of the same mind as Hitomi. He couldn't just do nothing and leave it all on Kanan. Kanan? I don't know. I still don't know how to pronounce that. After everything he'd been through, he wanted to stick with this case until the very end. What about your girlfriend, by the way? Apprehend ALPHARD at the rendezvous and demand the password from him. Kanan offered a suggestion as if it were a simple task. That lets you get what you want without putting Hitomi in danger. Kano let out a sigh. Hold on, he said. Even if we do arrest him, how are we going to get him to cough up the password? We don't have time to drag him off to an interrogation room. And besides, he doesn't strike me as the sort to offer a confession that easily. There are ways, Kanan said. Once ALPHARD has made contact with Hitomi, call my cell phone. Hitomi tilted her head. Call you? I have plenty of information ALPHARD might want to bargain for. I can negotiate with him directly. Oh, I'm not sure if we should trust her on that. Kano considered Kanan's proposal. I see. So we'll try both options. Attempt to hack the password at the lab, and also try negotiating with ALPHARD. That gives us 2 chances. He wants the fucking blood. He wouldn't jeopardize his whole plan just on some new intel you might have. With that tiny ray of hope, Hitomi's face brightened some. We'll split into 2 groups, one for the lab and one for Shibuya Station, Kanan said. Let's exchange phone numbers so we can be in touch when the time comes. The group quickly shared contact info as suggested. Do you have line? No, do you? Yes, I have line here. Hitomi and Kanan called one another's phones to be sure. Hitomi's cheerful ringtone felt out of place, but also somehow soothing. a fragment of normalcy in the midst of crisis. Well, guess we're all set then, Hitomi said, looking down at the LCD screen. Her expression turned apologetic. I'm sorry, Kanan, for having to keep putting things on you. Hey, Kanan replied. Don't worry about it. Okay, now I guess I should call my father. Hitomi called Kenji Osawa, there's a jump, on his cell, asking him to let Maria and Kanan into the lab. Kano leaned in to whisper into Kanan's ear. Are you sure you're okay with this? With what? I know that you're after ALPHARD. Are you sure you want to go to the lab or not? Right now I want to save Maria. That's all. Her tone was as curt and mechanical as ever, but there was a fierce gleam of determination in her eyes, which makes it look even more cute, in my book. Maria was clearly someone very special to her. Alright, Kano replied. Leave ALPHARD to me. He thumped himself on the chest. What about Stanley, by the way? He'd succeeded this time, or rather he'd succeed this time, no matter what the odds. Kano could scarcely recall the whirlwind of events that had brought him here. He'd somehow survived a dozen disasters. Even now a dear friend was in the hospital, at risk of dying. There were times when he'd been ready to give up. And yet, at the end of it all, here he was. His opponent was an international terrorist. No matter how you looked at it, that wasn't a matchup for a mere detective. But I'm going to do it anyway. Rumi, Shizu, Sasayama, and Detective Tateno. What about Kuze? I'm going to take down ALPHARD and save Maria Osawa's life. Just you watch and see. Beautiful. Alright, on to the last bit of this time block. Osawa. Let's jump. Shouldn't take too long, so maybe we'll start a new time block in this episode, I guess. We must. It's only 10 minutes left. Tanaka hadn't given Ai his password. Osawa's last chance had gone up in smoke. He let out a long, shaky breath and shut his eyes tight. Was it true? Was there nothing more he could do? And that's when his phone rings. Thank God. It's both of your daughters, by the way. Osawa's cell phone rang. When he saw the name on the incoming call display, he nearly shouted out loud. He didn't try to call her one time? It was Hitomi. Hitomi? Are you alright? Please tell me you're alright. Look at Ai, listening, irritated. Yeah, I'm fine, but Maria's... Maria? Is Maria there with you? Osawa's heart leaped. Dad, there isn't any time for me to explain everything, so I'll have to just give you the main points. This is so we can save my sister, so just stay calm and listen. Osawa struggled to hold back the 1,000 questions that immediately came boiling into his mind. There's a girl named Kanan who's going to bring Maria to the lab. She's going to try to hack the password in order to get us inside. Wait, hold on. Just what in the world is going on? There are a bunch of people here working to help save Maria. Can you wait for us at the lab, Dad? I'm not sure that the electronic lock is something that'll be easy to. We've got another plan in motion too, and if that goes well, we might be able to learn the password. It was all too much to follow, but Osawa realized he'd have to take Hitomi at her word. It was their only hope of saving Maria. Alright, he said. I'll do as you ask. But you said you're trying 2 approaches. You're not going to be in danger, are you? No, I'll be fine. She's lying to him. Don't worry about me. Okay, very well. I'm heading to the laboratory now. Damn, you can't. What? You can't go. The moment Osawa hung up and started for the house, I clung to him from behind? What? Where is this coming from? If you use the antiviral now, she said, everything will go public. Otherwise everyone will die. Are you sure you want that? There's no way we can keep the virus or the antiviral under wraps at this point. Osawa tried to pull free, but his wife was stronger than he expected. Kajiwara, please help us! Besides, if Maria infects other people, the whole world is going to find out in a matter of hours. No, we can just quarantine her. If it's handled correctly, we'll still be able to retain secrecy. Ai's voice was cold as ice. She's a real bitch, I called it. Right from the beginning, she's a real fucking bitch. Do you even have any idea what you're saying right now? I do. I know how it sounds. But this is the only thing I can. Her voice trailed off. He could feel the force of her trembling where she held him. Have I really put you into that much of a corner? Osawa slipped from Ai's arms and prostrated himself on the ground in front of her. I'm sorry. I'm truly, truly sorry. Oh, stop this, get up. If you're really sorry, then don't go to that lab. Oh, it's so heart-rending, isn't it? But Osawa remained silent, his forehead pressed to the dirt. If you used that antiviral without corporate approval, your time with Fukoshi is finished. That doesn't matter to me anymore. How can you say that? Virology is the only thing you've ever cared about. I began pummeling his back. Whoa, stop it. That's rude. Maybe virology is all that I care about. I don't know the first thing about anything else. I never wanted to know. Never even thought to find out. Never bothered to learn what you or my own children might think. I'm a failure. As a father and as a husband. How dare you say that only after it's come to this? I struck him again, harder than before. You're right, he gasped up the words between her blows. Maybe this has been too long coming, but it's not too late. I can still start over. Start over? She paused in disbelief. You already turned down that American job. If you use that antiviral now, there won't be any starting over. You'll lose everything. I mean, he still probably has a shit ton of money saved up. Will I lose you too? After you've gone and thrown everything else away like this? How could I possibly stay with you? Wait, Osawa, are you really in love with her? What? You're not serious, are you? I was sobbing softly now. Osawa wondered what her tears were for. But there was one thing he did know. She was right. They couldn't be together anymore. Thank God. Jesus. Good riddance, I say. He got to his feet and headed back into the house, leaving Ai behind. Now she looks like a real beast again. But she's also kind of tragic in her role, I guess. She's been forced to live like this by her father. He hurried through the back entrance and went into the garage. Climbed into his car, fastened his seatbelt, and took a deep breath. The image of a younger Maria rose in the back of his mind. The one he didn't save. There she was at that park, getting drenched by the rain, holding back her tears as she waited for her father. Wait for me, Maria. This time, I'm going to come for you. I was wrong. Going to the lab wouldn't mean losing everything. He'd let too many important things slip through his fingers. Now, it was time to go take them back. Osawa pulled his car into the street and sped towards the laboratory. The beautiful sunset. As if to signal that the long day was drawing to a close, the dazzling sun sank down between the buildings in the distance. So are we kind of close to the end of the game? Fuck, I'm only up to, I don't know, episode 55 or something in the uploads. So, and I guess this is end of his story, by the way. And so, and this probably is episode 70, I don't know, holy shit. Okay, whoa, what? How do we clear Minurikawa? Oh shit, do I have to do it differently now? Do I have to use the real name again? Jesus. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Let's go with Tanaka again. And this should unlock all else, I hope. We should just be able to continue on. Yes, yes, yes. Give me, just save the game, game. Come on, do it, please. Hello? Yes. Oh, come on. Let's take a look. Did it already change? Guide. All protagonists have cleared this section. Choose a protagonist to continue the storyline in the next hour. Okay, going... Okay, we'll do it like this. I don't know. For the guy to appear this late in the game. Ran long and hard, yes, and then she's gonna fall, right? Sprain her leg. The publishing guy is gonna... No, not the publishing guy, the printer guy is gonna stay with her or something, I don't know. Can't quite remember. Oh, that's a lovely view, I'd say. Yes, the headlong rush. I remember that. She's falling. Scraping herself really badly. They look in disbelief.